in the informal sector, especially for people who are self-employed, there is also that element of thinking that, if I build this business sufficiently, when I retire, it will take care of me. Is that a prudent approach?
For majority of my clients are between 25 and 35. So it's the new generation. Let's say 80% of them want to leave formal employment. And the reason why they want to leave formal employment is to be able to now generate a business or start a business that will help them retire early. Because they find that when you're self-employed, it limits you and all those things. So I think it's also a generational thing.
I think this is a very interesting question, and just to let those who are in the enterprise industry, who believe that the business will generate an income for them into perpetuity, we have some experience. For the business to generate for you income into perpetuity, you have to build the framework for that business to operate into perpetuity. The second principle is, for it to generate for you an income into perpetuity, it must be operated by a person for it to continue generating that income. You will not be there. Actually, beyond the age of 55, the energy levels take a downward trajectory. Coming back to the question of why is it important to set goals? Generally, if you think about the definition of the word planning, it means having the end in mind as you start. You organize resources, you coordinate activities, you undertake tasks, you perform activities and tasks with a certain end in mind. Without a retirement goal, you will surely end up somewhere, but it will not be a good retirement. You must be very clear how much money you want to earn in retirement. You must be clear what age you want to retire at. You must be clear where you want to retire at.
I think one of the common mistakes is that people don't think about retirement. I think they think that, I think they think that they won't retire, or it's just a thought it has never crossed their mind, or they think that they will figure it out once they are 50, once they are 55, once they're heading to now the retirement age. I think that's the biggest challenge I face when I'm dealing now with the young people. Yeah.
Each and every little bit of activity that you do in your life that takes money out of your pocket has to be planned quite well. So let's say, for example, you just had a kid. How do you make sure that their school fees are paid? At the same time, you're also saving for retirement. That goes back to you planning based on the amount of money that you have. So you have to, in a way, budget how you're going to divide this money accordingly without really affecting your lifestyle now, or maybe sacrificing a little bit of your lifestyle now to ensure you achieve that goal in the future.
Is there a need for having the NHIF account if you have a Zimele account? That is the Zimele pension plan.
The design of pension schemes, there is something called the zero pillar. That is to take care of the basic minimum. And then there is the basic pillar. That is to take care of what is above the zero pillar. When you study, and those who have studied it, when you study what the NSSF has done, is they are attempting to deal with the zero pillar, survival. And they are doing this because there is a universal consensus about something called social security as a human need, as a human right. You must have another account to take care of the other needs because you will have those needs. Those needs will not go away because you have aged, and those needs will not be met by that contribution you have at NSSF. It is not sufficient.
Whenever they move jobs, their pension will always remain intact. What they have to do is just to have the information on where that money is. As much as we usually recommend for people to match their benefits, they tend to forget when they're moving jobs. But it is recommended for you to consider to merge your benefits into one pot. Under the new NSSF Act, where you will see employees as they move, the employer might have different, each and every employer has a different arrangement. So wherever they contribute, as an employee, you should take the personal responsibility of ensuring you track that money and merge them into one pot.
Mine is about the adequacy bit of the retirement savings. As much as we are trying to put aside something for the retirement, previously we would do the NSSF way, the 200, but you'll realize how much would you need for you to retire comfortably? Is there a certain percentage of your income that you're supposed to put aside for you to retire comfortably at the end of that tenure?
You should aim to have at least 70% of what you have, what your earnings right now at retirement. So if you, by the time you're retiring, you're earning 100,000 shillings, your savings should account for 70,000 shillings every month. If you put in that tool, you'll say your age, you'll say your current income, and it will tell you how much you need to save so that you can be able to live for the next 20 years after retirement, all right? So it is called a net replacement ratio. The advocated net replacement ratio is 70, a minimum of 70%. So we are saying at retirement, if your income was 200,000 shillings, it means for you to survive well in retirement, you need at least 70% of that every month to sustain you.
If I've been contributing to NSSF, now that it is mandatory, now that the contributions have gone up, and I have my accumulated benefits at the end of my 20, 30 years, why should I come to financial providers like yourselves and not just take this money and go and start a butchery or go and put a matatu on the road or even get into farming? I mean, I'm sure by the time the season is over, my chickens will have multiplied, I'll sell the eggs and I'll be doing fine. So why should I trust my money with you than go directly and do my own thing? Thank you.
Your retirement benefits savings, they are your last bullet, if I may. And they cannot be used for trying out things. Again, RBI have a survey out for this, that of those businesses that are started after retirement, using your retirement savings, 27% of them collapse within the first 1 year, all right? Within the second year, another consolidated from when you retired to the end, about another 38% collapse, and about 15% make it over time. So you cannot focus to use your retirement savings as your goal to start a business.
Okay. Thank you so much, members of the audience, as well as the panel, for your engagement and your time. We appreciate you coming here and for interacting with us and for your insight, which will be very, very helpful.